Hello! Alright, today we are looking at degrees and radians, comparing and contrasting the two. Both are ways that we can measure angles. If I have a rotation here, I go all the way around, basically the full amount of rotation of a circle, I would have the number of degrees that would be made rotating the full thing, which would be 360 degrees. If I were to do the same thing with radians, because we know this, we've seen this one before, it's fairly familiar, but if we did the same thing with radians, we would go all the way around and we would have 2 pi radians as the result. In radians, it's like 2 pi. That's so weird. Where does that come from? Think back to the circumference of a circle. The circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r. Looks familiar. 2 pi r here is the radius. Basically, what we're looking at when we're looking at radians is the number of times that you do the radius in order to go around that much of the circle. So if I go right here, the length of this piece, of this arc, would just be pi times the radius. Okay, if we're looking to measure that. But in terms of radians, we really already know that we're working with a radius. So if we're going to call it by a measure, we would just call it pi radians. Okay? The full circle would be 2 pi. Half circle would be pi. A quarter of a circle rotation, or a 90 degrees, would be half pi. How to convert from one to the other. So if I want to go from degrees to radians, I take my measure, so I'll say that I've got X number of degrees. I am going to multiply that by pi over 180. That gives me my measure in radians. So if I had, let me do a quick example up here. If I had 180, let's do 90, because I like 90. If I had 90 degrees, I would multiply that times pi over 180. I would get 90 pi over 180, which I can just simplify to pi over 2. That's it. And to do the opposite, to go from radians to degrees, all I need to do is the reciprocal. So let's say I have, let's say y. I have y number of radians. I'm going to multiply this by 180 over pi. There's the reciprocal, And then that will give me my degrees. So you can easily convert between the two. Let's do this one backwards and we'll see how this works. So let's say I start with pi over 2 radians and I want to convert that to degrees. Multiply by 180 over pi. I'm left with 180 pi over 2 pi. Simplify. That gives me back my original 90, which I started from. All right, practice this. Think about that. Here's some conversions to work with. Try and convert, let's do 3 pi over 4. Convert this to degrees. And then also try converting 120 degrees into radians. Have a great day.